if she could tell I'm hard right now? Yeah, come on. Dance for me, baby.
And so here we go again. Welcome to the Dark Times channel. And in this particular video, I want to take a second to chime in on the new Netflix movie, Leave the World Behind.
See, this is why I much prefer life before the internet. Because we would have spoken on the phone, we would have recognized my voice and known that this is our house.
This is your house?
And so nothing in a film is put there by accident. From the wardrobe, from the location, everything is placed in the film for a particular reason. And so whether or not the audience picks up on it or not is inconsequential. Because whether or not they know it or not, their subconscious mind is going to pick up on any and everything. And the reoccurring themes in a lot of these post-apocalyptic movies is that it's every man and woman for themselves.
I can barely do anything without my cell phone and my GPS. I am a useless man.
And so a good indication of how people are going to act and how people are going to behave in the future is by paying attention to what they listen to and by paying attention to what they watch. And so that in and of itself is nothing new. When it comes to a lot of these apocalyptic movies, we see the same reoccurring thing. But in this particular movie, from the beginning, I noticed that there was a racial element in this film. And there was sort of this racial duplicity that was going on within this film. And so like most apocalyptic movies are about survival, this one is no different. But the only difference in this particular film is that this particular film is dealing with genetic survival. And in fact, one of the things that sets this film apart from other apocalyptic films is that in most apocalyptic films, the focus is going to be what's going on in the world. How are people reacting? What people are doing to survive? But if you notice in this particular film, the focus is what's going on inside the house. And it has a lot more to do with the relationships inside the house. And in fact, in most of the film, the only way that we really know that there's something weird going on in the outside world and possible calamity and disaster going on in the outside world is because of the animals. You see a reoccurring theme of the animals showing up and acting in strange ways.
Those are flamingos.
And that was the director's way of letting the audience know that there's something strange going on in the outside world. Because apart from that, like I said, the main focus was what's going on inside the house and the relationships that were going on inside the house. When we start to look at the countries with the most fertile population of women, it's not even close. The countries with a majority so-called black population are about 5 times more fertile than countries with a non-majority black population. And so we have major fertility issues that's going on in the countries with non-majority black populations. There's no question about it, no doubt about it. And so as I said earlier, this is not just a film about survival and disaster, but a film about engineering so-called white men to go after young, fertile black women. If you notice that throughout this film, the film went out of their way to make sure that both of the white men inside of the house had somewhat of a lustful spirit for the only black female character in the entire movie. And then also the film could have easily given the black male character a wife. I think that would have made for better dialogue and even better drama when you consider the actress Julia Roberts and her character. But they didn't do that. They chose not to, for not so obvious reasons. And there was another part in this movie in which I noticed the actress Julia Roberts' character was alone inside the house with the black male.
I am starting to like you.
And they were drinking and dancing, all the while Ethan Hawke's character, Julia Roberts' husband in this movie, was outside alone, smoking and drinking with a young black female.
I mean, that's what I look like to you? I look like that kind of guy?
You look like the kind of guy to whom things come easy, especially women.
And at the same time, the son of Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke was inside beating off to her, getting off. And that was very telling. That was a very telling scene. And on a subconscious level, on a very animalistic level in which we all operate at any given time, that's letting the audience know that in a situation like this, that the white men need to sexually sacrifice the older, non-fertile white women to the black men, while the white men, both young and old, both go after the young black fertile women with no fertility clinics around and with nothing in place to help ensure reproduction and procreation. This will be the only way for them to procreate successfully. And at the heart of it, this is what this film is really about. And a lot of you guys are aware enough and old enough to remember, I would say probably back in the early to mid 90s, there was a push in a lot of the major motion pictures to make sure that you never saw two black couples together. I'm not talking about in a Tyler Perry movie or a Spike Lee movie, but in the major motion pictures in Hollywood, there was a clear push to make sure that you never saw black love and black couples together. And it's even more intensified as of late. In every movie and every commercial, if there's a black man or a black woman involved, you can almost be certain that they're not going to have a black male or a black female counterpart. And so at the heart of this film, that's what this film was actually about. It was about sexual and genetic survival. And if you've enjoyed this short movie breakdown, make sure you guys hit the like button for me, so I'll make sure to make more movie breakdowns like this as well. And then also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also make sure your notifications and all your alerts are turned on as well. And as usual, peace and chaos.